This is me listening to the audio of Connie the first time she went into court to get a harassment injunction on me. And this is basically what she's telling the judge in order to get it granted. Here we go.
So you mentioned that on, I assume, some social media,
Yes.
Schelli posted a photo of a target with bullets in it with a caption of, "All I had to do once, I visualized Connie and her son. Felt good, haven't been to the range in 2 years. You felt threatened and scared and called the police."
Yes.
Okay, stop it there. Okay, so I posted a target. I went to the range to shoot, and my intentions were just go shoot. Since COVID, I hadn't been to the range in a long time, so my husband and I went to the range, and I had such a good shoot that I decided to post my target, and I said all I had to do was imagine these people, and I had a good shoot. Well, I took it down like within 2 minutes because my husband told me it wasn't a good idea. I didn't think anything of it. So I took it down, and she ended up seeing it anyway. Somehow they happened to see the post, and she called the cops. And the cops actually did come out, and they talked to me and basically asked me what my intentions were. And I said, I didn't have any intentions. I just had a good shoot and letting off a little stress. And he didn't see any big deal about it, no big deal, and just it was done, over with. So anyway, she used that one against me. All right, so, all right, here we go. Let's move on.
Now, you mentioned that Schelli has been sending random people over to watch us.
Yes.
Okay, let me finish. She said, maybe if I can get enough people to do a slow, I think it reads slow drive-by, even stop, she may let up, knowing someone might see her. So where did she say this?
On social media also. Everything's on social media.
Okay, did you keep that?
Yes. We kept it. We kept it, everything. I even have.
So did she literally say she's been sending people by to watch you?
Yes, sir.
Have you actually seen people peering into your house every night?
Yes, on my security cameras. The officer that came over the weekend.
I don't care about the officer. Just, I know you have a lot you want to say, but I want to try and keep this sort of narrowed because I know what I need, okay? So you have security cameras.
Yes, sir.
And you said there are people that are looking at your apartment.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so how many times has this happened?
Every night.
Well, every night since when?
It's been going on for 3 months, but it's just now starting to get worse. When she posted that target, that's when it got worse, and the officer told us to go get a order of protection.
Now, you mentioned that she's been talking to people on Facebook about breaking into your property with a ski mask so that they don't get caught.
Yes, I have that also.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so she fails to mention that during, really how this all started was her putting a cat trap out on her property. She put a cat trap out to trap all my cats, which she succeeded in doing, and relocating my cats. That's really how it all started, but she fails to mention that to the judge. Instead, she basically makes it sound like I send people to her home and to look into her windows. Well, we should be very clear that she has 10 cameras that surround her trailer, and she sees and watches everything that's going on. She produced absolutely no evidence showing anybody looking in her windows. Why? Because it never happened. Nobody looked in her windows. Nobody came over. She's referring to a post. Everything that she uses here is social media, Facebook, really. That what I had done was I had taken a photo of the trap that she had put out, and I put it up on Facebook asking for help on how to, trigger to get the trap either removed or triggered, because the park let her have it, knowing, again, that all my cats had already been fixed. She had no need at all to put that trap out. No one even asked her why. But so anyway, she decides to put this trap out. And so I do a post, and basically people are responding and saying, maybe we can throw a rock in it. Maybe we can, they want to trigger the trap so she can't get a cat in it. That's all it was. That's all it was. Nobody came looking in her windows. Trust me, if they had, she would have some kind of proof of that with all her cameras around her home. And nobody came by with a ski mask on. And she's basically saying it happened every night for 2 months. Every single night, people were coming by and looking in her windows and driving by slow, which is so blown out. I mean, it didn't happen. Nobody came by her house. Nobody wore a ski mask. None of this even happened, okay? But the judge doesn't know this. Of course, he's taken it on what she's saying. And there's nothing there. I mean, she says she has all this evidence, but she doesn't. All she has is her security cameras, and I don't know what she's showing them. I mean, I have no idea, but at this point, I have no clue what she's showing them to actually prove that this is actually happening or that I am some kind of threat to her, but there's nothing like that. So anyway, so now we go into this part, which is pretty funny.
And then there's, I can't quite read the handwriting, I'm not sure it's yours. It says September the 27th, Schelli Rothi, posted on Facebook that no one's gonna
Cry
on the very day you
die.
die. Then it says,
Sundown. I have that also.
it says a bully sundown, a bully? What does
Yeah.
that mean? She wrote down a bully. Okay, and how do you know it's coming from, that comes from her? Does Facebook identify her as the author?
Yes.
Okay, and the breaking into your property with a ski mask, that also identifies her as the author?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, so Shinedown, we all know who Shinedown, most people know who Shinedown is. I quoted Shinedown, I said, nobody's going to cry on the very day you die, you're a bully. And that's what the judge is saying. Obviously, he doesn't know who Shinedown is, and obviously I'm not the author of that song. I wish I was, because it's a great song with great lyrics. And I did a post, and again, she just took what she wanted to take from it, and then says that I'm the author of it, which I'm not. That whole post was really about me expressing how to deal with this energy. How do I get through this? And with her putting out the trap and trapping all my cats within, a certain amount of time and removing them, and nobody's helping me. And I was just so stressed and depressed and just wanted some help. And I just did a post, and it was just clearing my head as saying, how do I do this? How do I get through this? And so anyway, again, lies that I'm the author of it. She knew it was Shinedown. So anyway, so he decides just on those things right there, just on that, just on this, with no evidence, but just on that, he decides to grant it.
Well, based upon the evidence presented, the court finds that there are multiple acts of harassment by the defendant towards the petitioner, towards the plaintiff, that justifies the issuance of a protective order in the form of an injunction against harassment. Defendant is to have no contact with the plaintiff. She's not to go on or near where you live, on or near where you work. Furthermore, the defendant may not post any message on social media to or about the plaintiff. Is that what you wanted?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you want anything else?
She made her Facebook account private now, so nobody can see what she's posting.
Well, that, I don't think I can do anything about that. Well, I mean, if somehow private, does that mean she can still, I'm vaguely familiar with Facebook. Does that mean she can still post things, but
Yes.
you can't see it?
Yes. Only people that's on her first Facebook account, they can see it.
You're right. In terms of proof, that'll be difficult. But in terms of this order, she's not even allowed to do that. If she does that, she's violating my order, and if you can prove it, then she could be charged with a misdemeanor. Again, my order prevents her from any type of message about you. It's just a matter of either the police or you being able to show that even in private messages she's still doing it.
Okay, this is good. All right, so the judge basically just on a target that I posted for 2 minutes on Facebook, and then about the trap, or about her putting the trap out. He grants a harassment injunction against me for her, and then he goes into saying I can't go near her, around her, near her, but now he's saying that I can't post to or about her on Facebook. And I really kind of thought, I knew that part right there. It's like, okay, so on Facebook, it's supposed to, I mean, my account was private. I should tell you that too. It was private. She keeps saying that it wasn't private, but it was private. It has always been private. So now she's like, well, I can't, it's private now. I can't get in. I can't see all this stuff. Well, he's kind of like saying, well, I mean, you're right, but she can't even do that. So I can't even post on my private Facebook account about what I'm going through or what I'm experiencing. They're just going to say I can't do that. And anyway, just moving on. So now this is even more fun.
When you own a gun and you get a restraint order of protection against it, can you still own a gun?
I'm sorry. Say that again?
Okay, if you get a order of protection, can you still own the gun?
Well, you haven't alleged a gun.
Yeah, she has a gun.
Okay.
She posted that on Facebook too.
What did she post on Facebook too?
The gun that she has in her,
Okay, did she threaten you with the gun?
Yeah, because that target is the gun. And she posted the gun on Facebook also.
Where is this in
Yes,
relation? Where is this in relationship to the bullseye? In other words, was it posted before? Was it posted after?
It was posted after.
Was that on Facebook?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court finds that.
All right, and he's going to do this here, which will blow your mind. Okay, first of all, they went back about 5 years on my Facebook page and found a picture of a pistol sitting on my patio, and that was 5 years ago. So it was not after I went to the range and it posted that target. That is a flat out lie. And she actually, I guess, showed a picture of it to the judge on her phone, which is supposed to be not, admissible. She shouldn't be able to do that, but he allowed that. And nobody looks at the date or anything, so it was a post that was over 5 years ago. And then she lies and says that I posted that. And even if, seriously though, even if it was after the target, one thing, she's basically saying that I went to the target range and shot the target and imagined that it was Connie and wanted to shoot and kill her, and then posted the photo of the gun, showing the gun that I'm actually going to use to shoot and kill her. And that's really kind of what she's going for here, is that I'm that, horrible of a human being that I'm going to do something like that. And, she's going to do what she needs to do to lie and get what she wants. And the judge is basically giving her whatever she wants. Again, I got to kind of, be gentle on him just for the fact that he doesn't know any different. And this is a problem with, I think, with injunctions against harassment, is that people are allowed to walk in and pretty much lay out anything verbally with no evidence or proof of anything and then get it granted or not. But mostly, from what I'm seeing, is most people get them granted based on nothing. And unless you're me, of course, because I don't lie, I tell the truth. But lying will get you everything and anything that you want. So she fabricates these big stories, that people are looking in her windows and ski masks and driving by slowly. And then I go to the target range and I post this target and I'm going to, and then my gun, I have a gun. She wants my guns. Well, it doesn't matter. We carry, but it doesn't matter if they're mine or Mike's. It doesn't matter because they are in my home. And so now the judge, really with no evidence, like nothing, right? A photo that was 5 years ago. All he had to do was see a photo of my gun, the target, because I didn't threaten her. But she says, yes, I did threaten her. I've never threatened her, never. And he literally grants it. Listen.
The defendant represents a credible threat to the physical safety of the plaintiff. Therefore, it's ordered prohibiting the defendant from possessing or purchasing a firearm ordering that the defendant transfer the firearm to the Mesa Police Department within 24 hours of service of this order.
And there you have it. All right, so he actually, after that little bit of what she presented, granted a harassment injunction against me. Can't go near her, can't post on Facebook to her about her, and I can't, and he's going to have my weapons taken, or my guns taken away from me. He ordered it. You know, the interesting thing, though, is when I did get the harassment injunction served to me by a police officer, that was not even in the order. You know, I don't know what happened. I don't know if that was called to his attention that you just can't do that. You just can't take away their guns for no solid evidence here. I have no idea what happened with that. But this is good to show, because this is the beginning of everything that I've been dealing with this woman. And the beginning, when she walked in to get this injunction against harassment on me for what? What? I mean, seriously, folks, I've never done anything to this woman. I've never had any verbal confrontation with her. I've never personally threatened her. I've never trespassed on her property. And you know, the sad thing is that she's like getting away with it, and all she's doing is lying. And nobody looks at the lies. Nobody's looking at any of that. And she just comes up with them one after another. And this is ongoing. So this is the very beginning of how it all started. And there's no mention of cats. You hear that? And we like to just put that off to the side. I'm going to end on this note. This whole thing is about cats. She's been here in this park at Holiday Village for 1 year. I've been here over 10. She put a trap out knowing that all my cats, my colony of cats I was caring for, were all TNR, trapped, neutered, and returned. And they were all good cats. And she knew that. And she took it upon herself to put out a trap, to trap them and remove them. Because she said, and those were all lies too, of what she was saying the cats were doing to her skirting, which was already in really bad shape when she moved in. And so you really just don't trap a cat and throw it out in the desert and kill it because it's tearing up your skirting, because it's not even factual. So this woman has just lied one lie after lie after lie. And it's just been a really incredible journey for my husband and I, dealing with this mindset and trying to walk through it. And then having these situations where the judge, allows this. And I'd love to see a change in our judicial system with the process of injunctions against harassment, because this is really ridiculous to me that a woman can walk in and lie like this and fabricate these stories and actually get it granted. So something to think about. And I would just a little bit of advice: if you run into the situation, get an attorney. Don't even mess around with it. Just get an attorney. I ended up getting an attorney, and I'm glad I did. So words of advice: don't mess around. Don't mess around.